Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den. This is episode number 135 and today is Wednesday, October 22nd. My name's Denise, I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. Welcome, if you're watching for the first time, thanks for joining us. I'm sitting out on my front porch as I often do. Weather is still really gorgeous here. A little chilly this morning but beautiful blue skies as normal. Let me put my coffee down. Let's see. Does the sky look blue? Always looks like it's white. But it's really nice. Hopefully, sorry. Trying to get the angle right. Yeah, it's nice enough to sit out, not cold, just a little crisp, I would call it, and it's wonderful. So welcome if you're here for the first time and you're wondering what this wall is. This is where I'm sitting. And I want to welcome back everyone else, friends who sit down with me every week and have a cuppa. And this week a Twix. We're having a Twix because I was sent some in the mail. And I'm drinking, if I get out of the lipstick off, I'm drinking from my England mug. Now I did show you this a few weeks ago. Sarah, the lovely Sarah in England, sent it over to me, but this is another one because Sarah sent another one when I told her hubby really liked this one and he seems to claim this cup or this mug every time I have coffee. So I've got one now and hubby's drinking out of his. So thank you, Sarah. And if you're wondering what I'm drinking, which it's usually always coffee and this week is no different, but I think Marlisha and Talia are asking what's in your mug. And I haven't seen the episode yet, but I have seen, you know, the link to the episode. I still have last week's episode to watch, girls, so I will catch up with you. But in my mug is just a cup of coffee. And it's nice to wrap my hands around. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. And it's nice to keep my hands warm for a little minute. Alright, so let's jump in. I want to welcome everyone that joined the Ravelry group too this week, and a special welcome to Linda, who is Tanglust, and she's in Baltimore. Hi, Linda. Letty, who is Crystal Lynx in Indiana. Madeline, who is Skull Angel in Sweden, all the way over in Sweden. I want to say Carol, but it's got an O in it, so I'm not sure if it's Carriol. I'm sorry about that, but it's Knitting Nurse, and you're in Washington. And Sandy, who is Heart for Feathers in Northern Illinois. And I want to say a special welcome to Texas Knitter, because despite the fact that you don't seem to like the podcast, I'm sure you're still watching. And if my facial expressions still bother you, just hit the stop button. That's all you need to do. That's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, and Bindi would like to say hi to you as well. Moving on. Week in review. It's been a really nice week. A few changes, a few decisions I've made, and what to chat about was birthday was last Saturday, and I want to thank everyone for the wonderful birthday wishes. And I'm turning the page. I got some special thank yous. I was sent some gifts. I want to say thank you to Talia, who sent me two wonderful patterns. One is the Lawrence pattern, which we're going to be, or at least I am. You can join me. I hope you join me. We're going to be knitting in January. It's a sweater with a cowl neck but no sleeves, so you can wear like long t-shirts underneath. I'm going to be knitting that with Sarah from the Apple Blossom and New podcast, and Sarah and Matt. So that'll be our first cal of the year. I won't be having many cals next year. I didn't have that many this year either, but I'm sticking to that plan right now. And she also sent me the gorgeous La Passionaria, I want to call it that, the Passionaria, La Passionaria, that beautiful cardigan that I showed you guys last week. Oh, got the pattern now. It's going to go on the needles pretty soon, I would like to say. Haven't got a set date though. I also want to say hi. I want to say thank you to Marlisha, who sent me the beautiful gunmetal shawl pattern. I'm loving these patterns, the shawls with the garter stitch, and so that was one I had recently shown you as well. It went in my queue. I want to thank Daniela, who Caffeinated Gert from the Caffeinated Knitting podcast. She gifted me her Inverness Diamonds pattern this week. She just released that, and I think it was she had designed it for Dana of Unwind Company to go along with the yarn that she was doing, and I think proceeds from both of their sales have been going to help Silly Fru, Wendy from the Sassy Pants Knitter podcast, who most of us by now all know has been doing a fabulous job, I might say, battling hairy cell leukemia. I think she called it. I'm not going to say what Wendy calls it, but best well wishes to Wendy. I think she's doing a little better, and last I heard she might be getting released from the hospital, but I need to catch up with that because I don't know if she's home yet. As I said, decisions made this week and new things happening, so I'm a little behind on catching up with online stuff. And I want to say thank you to, get off Bindi, Jan, and her hubby, who sent a sweet box of goodies to me last week, and always includes something for someone else in the family, and Kiki got a little something, so Kiki wants to say thank you as well, Jan. I didn't bring everything out, but I do want to show this that was in the box, which is just gorgeous, and it touched my heart. This is a beautiful embroidered, I want to call it hanky. We used to call these hankies, but I just couldn't use it. It's too delicate. I would not use that as a handkerchief. But it, in fact, the way it's folded, I might even just keep it as a bookmark. It's just so sweet. So that has been with me this week on my bedside table, and it's just beautiful. So thank you, Jan. I keep watching Bindi. Not supposed to do that. I also want to thank, and I didn't bring it out with me, but I want to say a personal thank you to Michelle and her daughters, who sent the most gorgeous hummingbird feeder. And we don't have any right now. It's obviously turned chilly, so they've flown south for the winter, so to speak. And but it's like a wine bottle with the cap underneath, and it's got a little flower on for the hummingbird to focus in on and get the nectar. I think I might hang that up in my craft room until next springtime, or when the hummingbirds come back. So thank you, Michelle, and your lovely daughters. I know they had a hand in picking that out. And let's see, I want to keep saying thank yous. I did get another gift from a friend. I'll show you that in a second. I want to say thank you to my friend for the lovely bag and the yarn you sent me. I'm using that for a new project this week, so I'll get to show you that in a minute. I think that is everyone, and I really apologise if I didn't miss anybody. It's been a little hectic. I didn't record yesterday, so it was a little hectic this morning because I was going to make notes yesterday and be all organised, but I didn't, so I've been trying to make notes this morning. So let's get started, and as I said, week in review. No, I've already done that. I'm getting all mixed up now. I had my birthday, I started thanking everyone, and I did have a lovely day last Saturday. One of the things I did, obviously, was get down to the local yarn store. I had some birthday money to spend, and I will be showing you that in a little while. And yeah, I think that just leads me into what's in the den. I'm going to say, just switch it all over the place, there's nothing left the den. I haven't knit much this week again, so there's nothing to show that I finished. I'm going to show you what's in the den. As I mentioned, a couple of things I have been working on. I can't show you, it's kind of a gifty secret knitting, and I don't want to, I'm not sure if the person watches, and so I don't want to give anything away, but I will show you. Two things I'm going to show you is actually new on the needles this week. Now I'm going to look for a place to put my coffee down. So, I'll start with this small one. Sorry, I'm bending down. And situate myself. And I didn't bring the pattern out, sorry. Actually, I could show you it on the iPad. One of the things I cast on this week, it may be, let me try and get it up, it may be for my spoilie for the year-long knit-along, or it may not be. I'll just say that. I'm not sure yet, but so that's why I can show you this one. It's not a huge, big secret as yet. And I've cast on a hat by Lindsay from the Little Lippy U group, and it's called Altheda. And this is it, and I've never knit anything like this, and I was intrigued to see how she got that pattern and texture. So, as I said, that may be for my spoilie. It is, we do have to knit one of the Little Lippy U patterns as part of our knit along this year. And so, I cast on this hat, and I'm using Dancing Dog Dye Works. And if you recognise this, this is my slow-mo colourway that Michelle dyed when we did the pen pal kits, snail mail kits I should say, a few months back. And the yarn matched the bag I did, and then it comes with a matching green, like a minty green. So I did cast on, this is her worsted, and I think hopefully I kept the label I did. Superwash Merino Squish and Shout. It's the worsted Squish and Shout, and it is, I have to tell you, it is unbelievably squishy, especially once you start knitting up with it. It's super, super soft and squishy. Now, look at that. I did again swatch. Oh, I'm so good. But, I mean, I'm not totally finished. I did not block it and all of that stuff. But I was playing around with needle sizes. Let me see. And I started, the pattern calls for a size 7. I am trying to be really good about doing gauge swatches and checking to see if I'm going to have the right amount of stitches, the same as the designer. It says 22 stitches, I think, to the 4 inches, and 5 and 7 needles were used by the designer. I'm assuming, well, I'm not sure what it doesn't matter what she used, it just depends on what I used to get the 22 stitches. So her needles were 5 and 7, I assume 5 for the rib, and then you move up to larger needles. But I started this swatch off with a 6 and wasn't quite getting gauge, so I went down to a 5, and you can see that, you know, there's the garter stitch line across. So this is the 5, and it still seemed like, to be honest, it seems as if it's the same stitch count as the bottom. That's why I get, there's not much difference between needle sizes. Still didn't seem as if it was exactly the same. I was not getting the right stitch count, and was getting fewer stitches. So I went down another needle size, and this is a size 4, believe it or not. And this seemed more like the correct amount of stitches, the gauge was better. I have, as I said, I did not block it and everything, but it gave me an idea that if I was to knit with the size 6, I assumed it's going to be quite a large fit. It'll be too large. So I'm actually knitting this on the 4s, but I did knit the rib on a 3. And this is what I've got so far. I just started this yesterday, to be honest. I've knit the rib, and I'll talk about these now before I forget. I've not done a hat on the magic loop before. Usually I will do the 16-inch circular and change to DPNs when I decrease. But I don't like changing to DPNs, I must admit, so I thought I would give this a try, and I just can stick with the one needle the whole time. It's a new needle, so it's kind of kinked. It's I should have maybe used an older cable, but it's got to get used, and it's got to, you know, relax a bit. And if you can tell, that's not going to make it any different, I shouldn't think. It never focuses. But these are carbons, Knitter's Pride carbons, and they were part of my birthday treats this week, or a birthday gift from my in-laws, because it was on my wish list. I have to say, absolutely, totally in love with these needles. Move them that side so you can see. Oh, they are, I guess, I'm telling you now, I'm sure it's got something to do with this gorgeous yarn as well. It's like a match made in heaven. They're so smooth. The yarn is so squishy. I just want to keep feeling it, but I'll try to keep showing you it. There's not much to see right now. And I like the tips. I like that they don't look too pointy, but they are a lot pointy and smoother than others I've got, which I've got Knitter's Pride Dreams interchangeable, and I've got the Knit Picks interchangeables. And these, oh, I just love them. I got a small set. I guess I'll show you why. This is going to be all over the place today. I'll show you them while I've got them out. This is the set. It was a small set. It's interchangeables. It's a starter set. I've not had these. A little pricey for me, so that's why they were on my list. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sets with 2 cables, a 24-inch and a 32. And it goes from a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these fabulous, can't wait to try to cast on with other projects with them. Let me move that there as well, put that back. So this is how much I've got done now. Because it's on the magic loop, I was actually, it looks small, I was nervous. I've checked the gauge, I thought I was right, and then I'm nervous because it looks too small. But because it's on the magic loop, I was able to try it last night, and I've got nothing in my hair, and it stretches quite a lot. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't help. And of course it'll block probably a little bit bigger, and it's still got some stretch to it. It's amazingly squishy. This looks silly, I know, but it did make me feel less nervous. I think it's going to fit, and it stays around next to my ears. To be honest, it's probably one of the best fits, best fitting knit hats so far, and I'm not even finished it. But I often, with my hats, I often find that they don't hug my ears, and my ears still get cold and I'm trying to pull the hat down. I don't think you would need to do this. In fact, as I mentioned, I don't know if it's going to be for my spoilie, but if it turns out fabulous, I might keep it for myself and start something else for my spoilie, or who knows, whoever it's supposed to be for. I just can't stop. It's just fabulous. Alright, anyway, don't want to linger on that, but I'm just loving it. I can't wait to do some more rounds and get the pattern all, you know, going. I can't tell you how she creates that pattern because it's a paid pattern, so I'm not going to mention anything else. So let me put that away. That is one of the things. Okay. Well, Alicia, I deliberately left the glasses off because it seems to help the bangs not falling, but they kind of still fell. Oh gosh, and I've got this, I'm trying to put it in. There's enough room in this bag, but it's just the way I'm sitting and holding it. This is in my lovely Knit Run Dig bag, and because it's blue, I picked a blue bag with the Under the Sea. I love this fabric. Knit Run Dig, and that is Sam. She has an Etsy store, Knit Run Dig store, with her bags, and they're fabulous. So let me put that down there. I'm enjoying that. I think my coffee's probably gone cold. Let me itch the nose. It's probably too cold now. Oops, nearly went down the wrong way too. And with that, we'll jump into the next thing that's come into the den this week. Super, super excited about this. Where is it? Oh yeah. So, in my new, isn't that adorable? This is one of the gifts I got from a friend this week. Polka dots, pink and brown. I love these colours with the aqua and the pink and the brown. Love it. So, I guess my show and tell's all over the place as well, so who cares. With this beautiful bag came a skein of gorgeous pink yarn from Fibre and Nymph Dye Works. She's not the one that sent me the bag and the yarn. This is from the friend, but she sent me some of this. And this is Yard Flamingo Pink. So, you know, those who stick a flamingo in their front yard, this is yard flamingo pink. So I want to thank that friend. I did obviously thank, you know, through PM a thank you, but personally if I can see it online and I know you're watching, I like to do that as well. So where to start? I'm going to show you some other yarn. Let me grab what I'm using right now. This is one of the things I got in the LYS for my birthday. I didn't go down with the intentions of buying this, but they were having a trunk show and I got to see some of these sweaters on the models and kind of fell in love with them. And then they're knit with a chunky yarn, and it made me realise, like, I haven't knit anything that big and chunky for a very long time, if ever, to be honest. So I thought, why not knit something, get something on the needles that's chunky, and it won't be like, I'm assuming it's not going to be a long knit. It should be a quick knit because it's thick yarn and a bigger needle. So this is what I saw. I'm not knitting this one, but this is the trunk show they were having. And I bought the pattern book. Did not buy the yarn, which would not have come in until November anyway, and so I was eager to get something I could use. And the reason I didn't buy the yarn, to be honest, it was absolutely fabulous. And I don't know if the yarn is called the Tundra Elements as well, but it would have cost like $160 or $180 if I had picked the yarn that they wanted us to use, and that's just a little bit out of my price range right now. So I went for something kind of half price, and that made the sweater half price, which hopefully it fits, because that's still a lot of money to invest in a sweater, in my opinion. But what they did, they're giving you lots of different designs in this book, but it's all based on one design, like a basic sweater. And you can knit different designs. This is the basic sweater. I don't want to show any of the, not that you would be able to knit a pattern from seeing that, but, and then what you can do is pick something, a different collar. There's a better picture of that one. So that, you know, you add a chunky curl to it, or you don't need to add a curl and you can add buttons to it. I like the stripy one. You don't have to stripe it. Let me get, here's a non-stripe, but it's got a hood attached. And I was really impressed and intrigued, and I like this one, but this is still not the one I'm knitting. What was on the model is, I think the hooded one was on the model, and then there was this one on the model, which is what I fell in love with. So it has the cowl. I think it's not a separate one. I think you're going to knit this with a sweater. And I love the feature on the side there, buttons, with the buttons. And I like that it's stripy arms, not the whole thing striped. And here's another picture of it. So I basically fell in love with that and decided all of a sudden I wanted a chunky cardigan. I'll show you the rest of them. There's another different neckline, and I think there might be one more, and this is again stripes but completely different neckline, and I think it's just, the concept is fabulous. So I'm going to show you. I did have to cast this on. I just wanted to play with it. This is the yarn I picked. And it's chunky, snuggle, and it's by, where was it gone? I think it is the Alpaca Yarn Company. And it's 55% alpaca, 15% wool, 30% acrylic, and as you can see, super, super soft and squishy. Again, I'm into soft and squishy yarns, can you tell? I picked a grey, and I'll show you the work in progress, that way I don't have to drag out the other skein. I picked a cream. So it's kind of exactly like what was in the book and what was on the model. So I did get a little bit of this started, and I was starting, here we go again with the gauge. I was starting the sleeve, tells you to start the sleeves first, and I was, I got about this much of the stripe started. I did not, did I? I think I did a gauge swatch, but I think I've pulled it out. It was just, my hair's getting on my nerves. Anyway, I think I kind of figured out I need to use a size 9. As I said before, I'm a loose knitter. I think it calls for 10 or 10.5. I went down to the 9 because that was what kind of gave me gauge. I've cast on the sleeve. And I actually used the 9. This is still the 9. But I was going to carry on with the 9, and I did do that. But it looked like, again, I think it looked like it might be too small. I didn't like that it was not as loose a drape with the chunky soft sweater as it was in the store. It seemed a bit thick. So I've decided, I pulled out the stripes, left this on, and I'm going to move up to a size 10 to start the sleeve and do the stripes, because which way did I do it? I think I'm going to go down a size but use bigger needles, if that makes sense. And that's after talking to one of the girls in the LYS. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I cast that on, and then I couldn't knit as much as I wanted because, as I said earlier, I have some kind of secret knitting, and it's a deadline knitting. I know I don't like deadline knitting, but it is what it is, and I want to get that done. I have commitments, and I like to honour commitments, and it's not, it's not a lot I have to do, and I'm going to definitely have the time because I've made some decisions this week that's going to change a few things. Alright, I've got an itchy nose now. Those are 2 brand new in the den, and that's all I can show you this week. Nothing left the den, I mentioned that earlier. I'm going to now go into just a quick more show and tell, because I want to show you some more yarn. I've showed you the carbons, I've showed you my bag and yarn, prezzies, and one of the other things, just to name a few, I also got this. Oh, it's got a mark on it. This is some of my goodies from hubby. This was on my wish list. I've not had one before, keep meaning to get one. If you recognise it, it is one of those magnet, it's a magnet board for your pans. I've been wanting one of these for a while. This is magnet, something in here is magnet, and it just stays like that. So if you put your pattern in, mainly for when you're reading charts, I just realised there's a pen in there too, I didn't know that. It's to keep, to see where you are with your charts. So I think that kind of goes like that, and it sits kind of heavy, but I guess that's because it's got the magnet in. So that's one of the other little gifts I wanted to show you, knitting related. Some weren't knitting related, I got perfumes and things like that. But yeah, I do plan on knitting some more shawls. Even the garter stitch ones have a little edging, with the lace that I'll be able to use this for. And the other thing in show and tell, this is what I went down to the yarn store for, was to try and find some yarn for the Lawrence sweater, because I've now been gifted it, I can read the pattern, I hadn't bought it myself. Kept putting off that, and I would, go find the yarn and get the pattern later on, I thought. So I made a decision, and I have picked some alpaca again. Everything's alpaca. Ultra alpaca, Barocco. This is, I do have some ultra alpaca light, I've not knit with yet, it's in my stash. And then of course this is the worsted weight. Yeah. And it's 50-50 alpaca and Peruvian wool. And again, I know everything seems samey. It's grey. But because I'm knitting this as we head into winter and not fall, I've kind of moved away from autumnal colours, because I'll be wearing this after January, and grey is just something I would pick after the new year, as opposed to the browns and oranges, I'm kind of using that now. So I've picked grey again. So that's going to be the Lauren sweater. I've mentioned it and showed it before, I think, so I'll not grab the iPad again for that. So that takes us into, that's kind of all the goodies I was going to show you. I've got a huge, the bag is full because she tried to shove everything in. Her theory was, if I shove it all in one bag for you, your husband doesn't think you've gone crazy and bought out the whole shop. But, and it must be all the way down the bottom. I've shoved it all in. I was like, I want to pull it all out now. I can't. So I've got the skeins of yarn for the thick sweater, and I've got about 5 or 6 of these alpaca ones. And as I said, yes, she shoved it all in a bag like that for me. Okay, that brings us into a little Cal news. Pinktober is still going on. I am wearing pink. This is just my hooded sweatshirt. I have to say, I'm not knitting anything pink, and I feel kind of bad about that, but I don't. I'm just not in the mood to pull out my old pink project, which was the beautiful ribbons and lace shawl. Sadly, I just didn't feel like picking that up. And because I've got other deadline knitting and then other, sparkly new things caught my eye at the store, I've not picked up anything else to knit that's pink. I do want to say I really appreciate everyone that is picking up stuff that's pink and joining in with the knit along. We've got some fabulous prizes. Again, I haven't brought them today. We're heading towards the end of the month already, which is crazy, but I will get the prizes sorted and then show you them. If not next week, then when we do the drawing, I'll show you what you've won at that time. But thank you to everyone that's been donating the prizes, and thank you to everyone that's joining in. There's some fabulous finished objects already in the thread, and there is a chatter thread over there in the group where you can, ask questions or talk about what you're knitting or what yarn you're using and stuff like that. There's also a new knit along started in, I don't know if it was this week or sometime last week. It might have been the beginning of this week. Danny from Little Bobbins Knits podcast, a new podcast I've mentioned before. She decided she would have her first knit along, and it's for mittens. I mentioned this as well, but I just caught up with her latest podcast yesterday, and that's when she mentioned that the knit along started, so I don't know the exact date she did that. It is running through till end of November. So I'm hoping, because I haven't chosen a pattern yet, I'm hoping to pick a pair of mittens. I want to do the convertible ones. Danny just knit a pair, that's what got me wanting to join in. And I'll probably pick something from Stash. So I'll try and decide on what I'm going to do. I've got till the end of November, so, if it's not this month I even start, I've got a whole month, November month, to put something on the needles. So, if you want to join in with a fun knit along, check out Danny's Ravelry group, and again, it's Little Bobbins Knits. And then I also have not picked up the second hat that I started, which was for hats for kiddos, which Daniela and Ali are doing on the Caffeinated Knitting podcast. And I think I need to either pick up that one I started, the little cap, and get the other one, the stripy hat with a big pom-pom on it. I need to get those in the mail because I think that's they need them by October 31st. So I start these things with great intentions, and sometimes I don't get them sent, to the people that have asked for them. Oh my gosh! But I'll try to do that as well. With that, it brings us to Girly Chatter. Yes, lots and lots of chatting. Again, little, not much yarn to show you, but I've got stuff to show you as part of Girly Chatter. And I didn't bring the other thing. A little while ago, I mentioned that I was doing the paper pumpkin from Stampin' Up, can't get my thoughts aren't coming out. Stampin' Up, it was a monthly thing where I'd signed up for. It's a subscription, and every month you get a box with some other craft stuff in from Stampin' Up to do. And it includes a little ink, it'll include some new stamps, you know, small stamps, and it could be cards to make, or back in July there was like little, you know, the paper windmills to create. I just got this month's one. I didn't bring it out with me. I haven't even looked at it properly, and it looks as if it's triangular cardboard cake boxes. I don't know if it's a cake box, because it does look like a slice of cake, or if it's just a candy box. I've not looked at it properly. And I decided to cancel that. And the reason being is I'm not getting enough time to create the crafts, to be honest. And I also found something else that interested me this week, and that is makeup. You can't tell, and yeah, you can't really tell because this is kind of daytime stuff, but I've been playing around with new makeup this week, inspired by the lovely Sam from Come Knit With Us, or Come Knit With Me. No, Come Knit With Us. And it's not a new podcast, it's new to me, and I've only been watching the last few months with Sam and Kim. And if you haven't checked out their podcast yet, you really need to, because I already feel like these are just fabulous girlfriends. Love watching their show every week, and they just make me laugh with their sections, Showgirls and It's Alive. It's just so uplifting and funny and adorable. Now, Sam has another YouTube channel where she does a lot of makeup tutorials and chats and things like that. And not only because of that, I think turning 51 last week, I don't know, I just was on YouTube, and they end up surfing channels for makeup tutorials for older ladies. And with that said, I have started buying some new makeup. Now, this is cheap, cheap, cheap makeup. You might have heard of the... Get away, little fly. You might have heard of the brand. You can find it in Target, and Walmart now has it. It's called ELF, E-L-F. This was $1. This is why I don't want to go crazy on buying expensive products if I don't know if I'm going to like them. I've done that recently. I bought some $15 eyeshadow thing. That's expensive for me. From Kohl's, and I didn't like it. So I started buying these. You can get individual eye makeup. You can get blushes. Now, when you buy the black ones, these are $3. This is a little upscale, I guess. What was that I got? An eyeliner pencil, they're $3. I got some eyelid primer, which I've never ever used until this week. I've been playing around like a kid with new toys. Sitting down in my bedroom in the afternoon. I'm trying to think what else I've got, because I left some of it up there. I bought some primer. I already had some Revlon foundation. I did buy some new brushes. That was part of my, birthday gifts and stuff. So these is two. I've got two of these, very similar. I don't really go for much colour. I don't not put purple and blue or whatever on my eyes. Not yet, anyway. Oops. Oh, the lid's gone over there. I'll get it in a minute. This is one of the things I'm wearing, which I've kind of liked. Jumbo lip gloss stick. I'm going to put it on. Because, sorry, you can turn this off again or fast forward if you do not want to see me and the lid's gone. I'll have to gently put that down. What I really liked this week was the fact that, and Sam turned me on to this, nude lipstick. It's very gooey. Now this is not ELF. Yeah, no, it's not. I was going to say, I don't think it is. Sorry. I like this nude colour. It's like, I feel dressed up because I've got lipstick on, but it's not blaringly or glaringly, it's not like in your face, oh, red lipstick or bright pink and that. I don't like bright reds. I don't like dark colours or burgundies on my lips. It doesn't suit me. But this is Steer Glossies. It's not, this is Rimmel. I think these might have been $5 or $6, I don't know. And I got a little darker one for when I just want a little colour. It's not that much different, but anyway. So I've been playing around with those, trying some makeup out on my eyes. I've tried different eyeliners. I've tried liquid eyeliners, which I've never ever used. Bit tricky. I'm not very good at keeping it smooth. And on YouTube, what I also watched this week is you can look at the YouTube tutorials for specifically e.l.f. products. There's some girls out there showing you what to wear, how to wear it, and it's all ELF products. And so I've been watching those, which brings me to Paper Pumpkin. I cancelled it because I found out, and again, actually I found this out before I realised Sam does all this. Sorry, fly. Sam gets these as some subscriptions. I didn't know there's boxes out there. You can subscribe to beauty boxes, and once a month you can get a box with samples of makeup, skincare products, sometimes full-size samples, nail polishes and all that. Now I will say I have heard of Julep, and I know that's nail polish and that, which I'm not into because half the time my nails just snap and I don't colour my nails. I do my toenails, but I just, you know, I'm not big and I'm not a huge big fan of nail polishes. I don't buy many. So I've seen that but not been interested in it. And then this week I saw that there is some makeup-y kinds of subscriptions. And so I decided to sign up. Because the Paper Pumpkin was costing me like $21 a month. But these makeup boxes, most of them are only $10 a month. So I signed up for two. One for me, and I filled out the information about, you know, skin type and everything for the other one for Kiki. I'm subscribed. It's just me. You know, it's my name. I subscribed to two, but I changed some of the information so that if we get skincare products, obviously in one box it should be geared to a younger person, because that way Kristen can kind of give them a try. If it's eye makeup or lipsticks and that, you know, we can share that. And the other box, this is the box I got this morning, the first one I signed up for, and it came in the mail yesterday. I think I only signed up end of last week. This is called Birchbox. It came in another box. I've pulled this out. This is, you know, what I'll keep for now to keep a running tally, so to speak, of what I get each month. Instead of putting it all in a basket and then me losing, you know, forgetting what I got sent. So, this one, oops, hang on, it's so, gosh, I could hardly get this out of the box this morning. It came in wrapped, I've left it in tissue. It doesn't really have a welcomey kind of card. It's this is my first one, but I just got, I think this actually tells you what's in here. Oh, well that makes sense, because it doesn't say what they are here. I didn't read the back of this. I was looking at this. It tells you in here what's in and how much the full size would be. So I was going to show you quickly, and again, if this is boring you, you know, just fast forward, I don't mind. But this is my girly chatter, and this is what I'm chatting about this week, because this is what I've been doing. And it's kind of fun. It's like Christmas once a month. And what I think is fabulous about this concept is I don't have to go purchase expensive stuff to give it a try and then find out I don't like it. I get to try lots of samples of expensive stuff. You know, it's not e.l.f. stuff. This is super trials of stuff I've never even heard of. So I've got Coastal Scents, Revealed, oh, 2 eyeshadow palette. I got a revealed. It's an eyeshadow palette, which again, fabulous because I can try and play with it with the eyes, and it's totally my colours. And if it says here, for a full size, retails at $34. So I would never pay $34 for eye makeup because it looks like, you know, it does look similar to what the e.l.f. stuff is. But I get to try it and see whether or not I think it's worth the price. Because obviously you do get what you pay for. And if it's an expensive makeup, sometimes there is a big difference and it's worth getting. So I get to try before I make that decision. I also got and this is where I didn't know what this was, so I had to Google it, but it tells you here. Black Label, never heard of this product. Dr. Jart Black Label Detox. And it's called a Beauty Balm. The Korean brand's tinted cream brightness blocks UV rays and calms the blemishes, blemish-prone skin. $36 full size. There's enough in there to give me, you know, a few samples to give that a try. I also then got original nipple balm, seriously, for lips. Nipple balm. Dr. Lip, and that's $14 for a full size, so I get to try that on my lips, which is fun because I'm always using chapstick. And excuse me, I did get a, where is it? Number 4, clarifying shampoo. I get to try some shampoo, which, if I wanted it at full size, yeah, it is shampoo, and it would be $32. I was just reading the red writing on here because it says, we added in this reconstructing mask pouch. Oh, that's right. Because there was a little purple box with the 3 things in, so they've put this in, I guess. It's a mask, came with, you know, in a little box with this and the lip, I think it was this one. So that'll be fun to try because I just found Sam, I just saw one of her videos where she's putting on a mask with a brush, which I've never thought to do. I've tried to put, you know, facial masks on before, and I don't use them on a regular basis. Should, perhaps. But she put it on with a brush, and it looked perfect. She had the perfect round eyes here, put it right across here, which I tend not to do because it gets messy. It looks like she should have just laid back, relaxed, and put cucumbers on her eyes. And, sorry, fly. So that will be fun. And this is shampoo to try. And then the other thing was this Basanti Cosmetics. Never heard of these brands. I'm sure it'll be everything I get I'll probably have never heard of because I've just not been into makeup and I certainly don't spend a lot of money on it. This is called Brighten Up Enzymatic Face Rejuvenator. So this will be fun as well. Again, full size, $34. You get some really nice size samples. So I was super excited about that. And then I have another one coming. I think I signed up for Beauty Box 5. Sam seems to have a few more others that I might be tempted to sign up for if I think this is fun. Although 2 might be enough for me right now. I know there's one called Ipsy that she just showed us. But yeah, I'm enjoying going through Sam's videos. She is Kermit Von Frog 12 on YouTube for that. Kermit Von Frog is her Instagram name, and I think that's what she goes by when she does the podcasts with Kim. So that is my girly chatter, all about girly makeup. It was very girly this week, wasn't it? That brings me to one final thing, and this is the decision thing I've been talking about. Shop news. I'm not going to do any bags for the rest of the year. Except custom orders I have taken on. I will honour those. If you've just talked to me recently and I said yes to a custom order and I'll get the fabric, don't worry, that is still a go. I still will honour that. There just won't be any bags in the shop from now until after Christmas. No bag updates, because I was and I have been getting totally overwhelmed with everything I feel like I need to do, but I keep pushing to the side because I want to sew bags to put in the shop. I made the decision earlier this week that I don't have to sew bags. It's not like I make a living from it. I don't make anything from it. I've done it because I enjoy it. But I've come to the realisation that my family and my house and my home is suffering a little. Not so much family with Kiki and hubby. I mean, I'm always there for them. I still cook for them, clean somewhat, you know, wash bathrooms, laundry's always there, clean for them. And they like, for the most part, to just do their own thing. You know, hubby's always working, or he hangs out with Kristen, they play video games. So it's not so much that, but it is the house. There is so much I would love to do. I keep saying I want to get organised, and that would mean having the time to open up cupboards or drawers and organise them. And I've just not done that for months and months and months, for this whole past year, to be honest. So I've decided, and when I made this decision at the beginning of the week, I felt like there was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. It's crazy. I was like, why didn't I just think of doing this before? I know I took a break in September, kind of closed the shop, but it wasn't really a break because I was still sewing bags as and when I could, or as much as I could, to put in the shop once it opened. I'm not going to worry about when shall I sew another bag. I will get the custom orders done before the end of the year, and I'm not taking on any more custom orders, and I'm not going to try and worry about getting updates in the shop. And I hope you can understand that. If I hope that's not too disappointing. I know there's lots and lots of other great bag makers out there, so hopefully if you need a bag you'll be able to get one. And in the new year, or perhaps after January, it'll not be exactly just after Christmas, I'll be having to do, take decorations down and do all that. And I do like to start getting even more organised, or having good intentions of getting organised in the new year. But after January, I'll probably start again. I am planning on probably doing a new kit with Michelle. I don't know what yet, but she is interested in teaming up again and making some fabulous yarn to match bags. I have to come up with an idea. And Michelle might, and I'm talking about Dancing Dog Dye Works yarn, Michelle, a Woolly Love on Ravelry, she might be doing another club in the new year. She has done in the past Monster Mania Club, which I've only heard of in hindsight because I never did get in on that, but it would have been fabulous, where she creates yarn. I think it's like a 3-month club. You get some yarn. She has a designer create a pattern for a monster. Sometimes I think sometimes, or in the past, she's had like a bag made by a designer. She might be doing that in the new year. She did mention, and I will tell you just in case you're interested, with mention of the puddings, the English puddings, the past week or so, and Spotty Dick, Michelle was inspired to think about creating a pudding club where she does some yarn inspired by different puddings. She's still thinking about that idea, and we were kind of throwing it out there to see whether anyone would be interested in signing up if she created a club, a 3-month club, and did colourways based on some English puddings. If you are interested, and I wasn't planning on opening a thread, but check out Dancing Dog Dye Works Ravelry group. Michelle's got a thread in there, and you can leave your thoughts on that, or see if you're interested or not. If you don't go over there and leave a comment, we would assume that you're not really interested. Me and Michelle are, so she might dye up some special colourways for us based on the puddings we like. First one probably being a Christmas pudding, because we are going to do that in the next month or so, couple of months. I will tell you, I am planning on making my Christmas cake this weekend. Got the ingredients in, and the reason I'm doing that first is because you can make your fruit cake, Christmas cake as we call it, 2 months ahead of time. In the past I've kind of made it a month ahead of time, but I just feel like doing it earlier, see how it turns out, and once you've made it, you wrap it up, you feed it every week with your brandy, and it's going to taste and smell absolutely delicious come December. So I'll probably have that to share with you next week if I get busy in the kitchen and do what I say I want to do. And yeah, I think that is everything. And I'm not sure how long it was. I'm sorry if it's not as long as usual. I don't know what else to say about that. I wanted to say my heart wasn't in it this week, but that's not totally true. I always really love podcasting. I don't aim to please everyone. I don't want to get upset about one little comment. If you don't like the podcast, just you don't watch. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. That's all I'm going to say about that. I hope you all have a fabulous week, and I hope you come back next week and join me in the knitting den. Bye, guys.